Slainte, and welcome to another episode of the Crafty Beer channel. What have I got for you today? Well, I was sitting this morning looking at the weather forecast and thinking, it's 30 degrees, it's going to be 50% humidity, and they're talking about a storm later. What would you drink in this weather? Yeah, you guessed it. This is Guinness weather. Bring it on. Every weather is Guinness weather. So now, got something special for you. As you can see, I know your eyes are not deceiving you. I've got two cans. They look the same. Two cans of Guinness sitting here, and I'm going to compare them. Now, there's a slight little bit of difference. You're going to get the joy and fun of seeing what a can of Guinness looks like poured with the widget on my left-hand side here. And this one on the right-hand side is going to be poured with this beauty, the Guinness Surge machine. Now, it's not quite as simple as that, but I'm going to have to go into a little bit of a background story for you. And I know my stories take forever, but I promise I'm going to make this one nice and quick for you today, okay? So, the Guinness Surge, what is it? Well, I was back home there a few months ago, and look, it's been out for a few years. I've heard of it. I've never bothered with it. My brother told me, not worth the effort, right? Fine. But this trip, I thought, why not? I'm going to be home for a while. I want to just try this thing out, try the Surge, see what the Guinness is like, right? So, in the off license, asked the guy for 26 quid, which is about 50 bucks and about 30 something US, I suppose. Bit pricey just to put on your can of Guinness, but I thought, why not? We'll give it a go. I'm home for a few weeks, we'll give it a go. Bought the cans, brought them back to the house, charged this boy up, chucked it onto the can, and wow, oh my God, I swear, it brought a tear to my eye. I reckon it was the best pint of Guinness I've ever had. It also brought a tear to my wife's eye because she was sick to death of hearing about it. And she's not going to watch this video now because she knows damn well I'm going to talk about it again. But my God, that was the best pint. And look, I was in Galway, Dublin, and my local area. Pints in Galway were the best, by the way. But I swear, out of that can, it was as good as it got. I loved it. So I thought to myself, I've got to bring this machine back to Australia. I know we don't have the Surge cans over there yet, but hopefully Mr. Guinness will bring them to us at some stage. So here it is, back in Australia. Not really usable because they don't sell the Surge cans. And then I saw some genius on YouTube showing a hack of how to use the Surge with the widget cans. I've already done it because I didn't want to have a disaster on video. But the basic gist is you take the can, you put a pin, just tap, tap, tap in there and gently let out the gas that's in there. And slowly, you're basically just getting yourself a nice flat can. As you can see, look at that there. You can press her in. There you go, nice flat can. No flat can there, not pressing that in. So, now, this is ready for the Surge. Oh, so excited. The point of today's video, well, for me, to drink 2 cans of Guinness in this lovely hot weather, and for you to see, is the Surge better than the widget? That's what I'm here for. I want to see, is it worth my effort? Is it worth me tapping that pin in there, letting all that gas out, slapping that on there and doing the slow pour? We'll see. Anyway, I'll give you an idea around how you pour and what you do once we start on this one. You'll see how I pour this one. We'll compare, drink, I'm happy, and you might get an answer. So let's have a go. Okay, so we'll start with Mr. Surge first of all, and listen to this. Nothing. Oh, but there's that widget. Go away. Go away, will you? There we go. Widget's away. Now, the whole point of this is to mimic the pour from a tap in a pub. So you put it on the tap here. There we go. Pop her on. That's you. Switch her on when you're ready to go. So you got a wee button here at the back. Switch her on and the harp lights up, and my harp has lit up. Just make sure. Yeah, the harp's lit up. Beautiful. So we're ready to go. Tilt your glass like you would. Tilt your can and pour away. Now, you see there, hopefully you can see those little surges. Every couple of seconds you can see that white surge of Guinness. Isn't Guinness the most beautiful looking thing in the world? Now, I'm not going to pour all the way because, unfortunately, these cans are not pint cans. If anyone knows why they make 470ml cans instead of pint cans, Put it in the comments below, because it annoys me every time I pour one. But anyway, look at that. There's no better beer to watch than a Guinness when it's settling. Anyway, we have to leave that for a minute. We'll let him set there for a minute. While we're doing that, we'll charge on into this one. Now, there's your carbonation there, and there's my widget getting all upset. Now, my brother, calm down now, calm down. So my brother showed me this pour when I was at home. Put the glass on top, flip her over, and the objective here is to keep the glass, the top of the pour just underneath the can, so that we're limiting the amount of, I suppose, splashing and all that sort of stuff. Now, but we're going all the way to the top with this one, or as far as it goes to the top. Ooh, not too bad. Now, there we go. You can sit there and settle. And I think we're close to our minute there. But as you can see, with the widget, straight away, I don't know if I can tip it. It's got all the bubbles on the head there, because of course you're bashing it in, and that's how it is, right? So we'll let him settle, but he's nowhere near as interesting as that was when he was settling. The point of the second part of the pour here is, once it's settled, is to mimic the second pour in the pub, where he pushes the pump that way. So it's no power, and really what you're aiming for is to get that creaminess out. Now, look, there's probably going to be a ton of user error here, but I probably could have went a wee bit higher with the pressured pour, but hey, look at that. That's not too bad, is it? There we go. Oh, Guinness. Isn't it the greatest? No, I don't care. Like, you might like other beers more, but no other beer looks as good as a Guinness in a glass, especially in a Guinness glass. And look at my paraphernalia here. We've got Guinness Surge box, the cans, the wee fella here, the glorious glasses. Do not ask where they came from. I can guarantee you I more than paid for them, okay? And of course, the Guinness t-shirt. Finally, a St. Patrick's Day Guinness t-shirt that gets used. Yes, although I'm dying in the heat here. All right, now, we must be close to being settled here, are we? I would say we are. Look at that. Right, well, let's hold them up. Obviously, we're looking for differences in the head, because the body should be pretty much the same, although there looks to be a lot going on. I think Mr. Widget here is showing a hell of a lot more carbonation on the side there of the glass, if you can see that there. Now, maybe it's just the glass, maybe it was the temperature of the glass of it going in, but you can see there that there's a lot going on around there. We're not clear, right? And there's a lot of bubbles in that head. Ugh. You know, also the other side to it is, these cans are brewed in Australia, and everyone knows Guinness Australia is terrible. So part one of this is to compare whether it's better poured out of the Surge over the Widget, and part two, can the Surge turn a sow's ear, the Australian Guinness, into a silk purse drinkable Guinness? We'll see. But this one does look a lot better. Still a fair amount of carbonate or bubbles, to be honest, in the head there as well. But it definitely does look a bit creamier. Yeah, it does. It does. All right. Enough jibber jabber. Get on to the beer. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with this fella, Mr. Widget, and we'll give him a go, because I don't want to taint this poor fella over here. We'll give him a go. We'll have a sniff. Yep, you're Guinness. Oh, but I do love the smell of Guinness. Oh, yeah, boy. Right, Slainte, let's get into it. What's our Guinness like? My daughter loves my Guinness mustaches. She always says, "Daddy, you've got something in your mustache," and I pretend it's not there, and she wets herself. It's pretty funny. Okay, not that she sees me drinking much Guinness. All right, so that was all right. It was actually quite smooth. I didn't mind that at all. That was quite smooth. It has been a few weeks since I've had a Guinness, so I am gagging for it, even at 30 degrees. Smooth, but there is that aftertaste, that Australian aftertaste. Ugh. Yeah, it's all right. Look, probably sat here too long. I would have liked it to have been a bit colder, but that's my fault. I jibber jabber too much and the poor thing's warmed up, which makes me nervous. Let's get into this one. Not bad. Typical Australian. Let's see if this is different. Right, clear the moustache, ready for another one. Might be a bit smoother. I think so. I think that's smoother. You're not as smooth. I think that is smoother. Let's have another taste of this one. It's going to be back and forth. It's like, I think it's smoother. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Let's have another taste. But we'll give it a go anyway. I definitely think this one's got more carbonation. 100% I think that. Yeah. So first taste of this felt pretty smooth. Not bad. Has a little bit of an aftertaste. First taste of that, I thought, oh, I don't know if there's that much difference. But when I've gone back to this one, definite carbonation here. There's 100% carbonation. That's got carbonation going there. Okay, back to you. That's smoother. Yeah, that's a smoother pint. There you go. Well, you can't argue with the taste test, can you? And I think that's smoother. I think, look, obviously with the can that's developed for this, and it's a pint can back home, and they've developed it with a little bit, it's actually over a pint to try and give you that domed head, which if you're into Guinness, that's the epitome of a Guinness, to get a nice dome on it. But that, obviously this is a different Guinness that we're using, and it's brewed in Australia, which is not as good. But that's not bad, and I think probably is worth the effort. Yeah. I might need to open another 6 cans just to check it out and make sure that I'm right. But no, that's smoother. It is. It definitely is. It's a smoother beer. And that's got more carbonation. It's drinkable. And that one's slightly better. Is it massively better? Not really. Has it turned into a pint of Guinness from Ireland? Absolutely not. No. But I'm not getting that aftertaste. Now, maybe that's because I'm washing down 2 pints and I'm going a lot quicker than I normally do. But yeah, I think it's quite smooth. Yeah. Yeah. And you can see the head. The head does look a bit creamier. Look at that. There's a lot of bubbles in that there. There's less in that. Yeah. There we go. All right. Look, I think definitively we can say that it's slightly better. Is it worth all that effort of putting the pin in? Look, if you're just a casual Guinness drinker, no. Why would you bother? Why would you bother getting this shipped over from Ireland? But maybe if you're in Ireland or the UK and you pick it up and you maybe have it at home, by all means, why not? You're giving yourself a better pint of Guinness. Why not give it a go? That's what I do. So look, in the comments below, if you thought that I didn't pour this properly, this came from my brother, this pour. I normally just bash it in like that. But my brother says, no, if you hold the can a little bit closer, I don't know if I noticed that much difference. Did I do it wrong? Would you recommend a different way of pouring your Guinness? Or have you tried this? Have you tried it and you found that there was a big difference or there wasn't a big difference? Maybe it should have been a bit colder. And I probably should have got into the beers a bit quicker. I'd say that's probably part of it. But hey, when they warm up a little bit, that's what you want. You want a bit of flavour, aren't you? But look, we're going to leave it here. That'll do us. Please, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. If you've got any recommendations for me, any more comparisons, let me know in the comments below. And I do have a bit of a plan coming up now for future videos. It will be more comparisons, but not the same beer, but in same categories and a little bit of competition. Should be a bit of fun. Please make sure you subscribe so that you can get notification of these videos in the future too. But at this moment, I'm going to leave it there. Sit back in this beautiful 30 degrees heat while I'm sitting sweating, drinking a pint of Guinness. I'll just finish these boys off. But for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Slainte and Slan. Cheers. Yeah, you're smoother.